I can picture this being quite popular with some voters, probably quite a lot of voters, but legally it sounds very difficult.
Yes, this is an ongoing nightmare for the government, really, isn't it? Because the numbers have gone up and up and up. There were 46,000 last year. That's up about 60% on the year before. And Rishi Sunak has promised to get a grip of this, and quickly. But as you say, although many Tory MPs are very exercised about this, many of the public are very exercised about this, seeing these people come some days in hundreds, stopping it is very, very hard. So the government are planning this month to unveil legislation, but it looks like being very difficult, because what they're saying is if you come illegally on small boats, you will have no chance of getting asylum. So basically, you can forget it, so don't come. The thinking is stop them coming in the first place. But, of course, legally, this is going to be problematic. So Home Secretary Suella Braverman's looking at two options, either saying you don't have any right of appeal, full stop, or you can appeal, but only after we have deported you to a safe country. Either of those is going to get mired in legal challenges, I would imagine. And lawyers are already saying this is not workable. People are going to launch judicial reviews. What about human rights? And, of course, the government, they're still keen to get the Rwanda plan off the ground, aren't they? That was tried and failed last year, but they still want to send people to Rwanda. But Rishi Sunak is desperate to be seen to get a grip of this. But easier said than done.
Yeah, and I mean, I read that they're reckoning that it's going to cost nearly $1 billion a year to detain all of those who arrive. It is a question of cause and effect, isn't it? It's been shown that stopping them coming in the first place is actually the answer to this. Well, he's obviously trying to do it legally. But isn't there a case for saying that we should be spending more of that money if we've got it, not this side of the channel, but the other side of the channel, preventing the boats from getting in the water in the first place? And, of course, recognising that many of those people that come here really do need asylum. Should we not be beefing up the asylum process the other side of the channel, so that those people who do come can come legally?
Well, that's a big criticism, isn't it, that they say, well, that where are these safe legal routes, that they don't really exist. And Rishi Sunak has said, yes, it's very important, we're very compassionate, we have a proud record, but it's not clear what the safe legal routes are unless you are from Ukraine, for example, where we've been very, very successful. Now, the government are very keen to stress they've got this new deal with the French. They've actually got British people on the coast now in France. They're saying that that's already having an effect, though we've seen that hundreds have already come this year. Rishi Sunak also stressing that they've now got a deal with Albania, and they say that now, if you come from Albania, as many, many did last year, they are quickly being returned there.
Without any appeal?
It's a safe country.
Yes.
I mean, the thing is, how can you claim asylum if it's a safe country? But, of course, also they're going to have to look at toughening up these modern slavery laws, aren't they? Because they're using that as a loophole, saying, oh, well, you know, I've been trafficked.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with this is it's the money making, and it's not to slander all lawyers, because, I mean, lawyers do an incredible job for a lot of people. However, there's clearly a concern with this, that if you say, well, if you come over in small boats, you will be you will be immediately deported, or very quickly deported. Clearly, they're concerned that that will just grind to a halt, because lawyers will be there saying, no, appeal it, immediately appeal it, immediately appeal it. And so no one will get deported at all. At least not for a considerable amount of time.
Yes, and I think this really is, of Rishi Sunak's 5 priorities, the other ones, the halving inflation, the cutting waiting lists, you can see those happening, but stopping, OK, they might be able to get the numbers down, but stopping these crossings looks ferociously difficult, doesn't it? And many voters will not forgive the government, will they, if they don't get a grip of this.
Yeah. Where is the main opposition to this going to come from? Is it going to come from outside the House of Commons, from lawyers who will lobby, or will it actually come from inside, where you have still many people on the back benches, particularly, who are former lawyers?
Yes, but I think it will come from the courts. I think this is one issue on which the Conservative Party, which, let's face it, is deeply divided and full of warring factions at the moment, is actually fairly united in that they can see that this is something that their constituents are very, very angry about, and that they want to get this dealt with. But, I mean, it'll face big battles in the House of Lords, for sure. It'll face big battles from Labour, but the courts, I think, will. Because
really... what's the issue with Labour on this? Because Keir Starmer has toughened his immigration stance, hasn't he, over recent months? And they know that generally it's a vote winner. So what is Labour's position on this likely to be? Because they're going to have to promise to take some action.
Well, they are, and they have toughened their stance, although there's still many people within the Labour Party that would like us to be letting people in and saying, no, you know, we've got to be big-hearted and generous. But I think they will go on that, well, OK, if you're going to do this, how does somebody come safely and legally? How do we fulfil our obligations to genuine asylum seekers? If you're going to close this door, where are the arrangements you're going to put in place for genuine asylum seekers?
That's what they've got to beef up, haven't they? To find the people who are genuine.
Yeah.